Spellcasters in Pathfinder 2e all have one big issue in common, and no, it's not their spell attack roll accuracy. Stop complaining, use a saving throw spell. No, I'm talking about the fact that most spellcasters in PF2, their feats kinda suck. And this is by design. They have access to entire spell lists. A lot of them can change their spells literally day to day. So if they had insanely versatile feat opportunities combined with insanely versatile spell lists, they would just be completely overpowered. But I think one spellcaster stands out among the rest with having some of the most useful, versatile, and unique feat options available to them, and that is, of course, the subject of today's video, the Bard. I think the Bard's feats are incredible top to bottom, and here today I'm going to share with you my 5 favorites out of their entire list, levels 1 to 20. If you haven't seen my other video in this series, you can go check it out right there. Basically, feats are ranked on a few different things: their overall power, their utility, how cool they are, how fun they are to use, and also they get bonus points the earlier you get them, because as cool as level 18 and level 20 feats are, they're not that useful for 99% of campaigns because you don't typically make it that far. But if something is super useful at level 2, that gets a bunch of bonus points because you get to use that for basically the entire campaign. So with that set in stone, I do want to really quickly give a huge shout out to the members of the No Not One's Patreon. Everyone on this list is, that list over there is supporting me for $1, $5, $10, or $20 a month. They all do the exact same thing, they just support me a little bit more. So if you also want to join them, there's a link in the description where you can do that. Honestly, in my repertoire of Patreon reads, this is one of the better ones. And that's saying something. Number 5 might be a little bit controversial. A lot of people might be thinking this should be higher on the list, and I wouldn't disagree with you. The only reason I'm keeping it this low on the list is because it's just a little bit boring. Don't look at my fighter top 5 feats where I put a boring one at number 2. Trust, don't look at that. Make your own. 5th place for my favorite bard feats goes to Rallying Anthem. This is the opposite of Courageous Anthem, which all bards start with. Instead of giving +1 to hit and +1 to damage, Rallying Anthem gives you and all your allies within 60 feet +1 to armor class, +1 to all saving throws, and resistance to physical damage equal to half this spell's rank, and this is a composition cantrip, meaning not only can it be cast every single round if you want to, but it's auto-heightened up to your highest available spell rank. Once you're level 9, this is a 5th rank spell. Unfortunately, things do round down, so even at level 9, it's only 2 resistance to physical damage, but that adds up. If your party takes 15 hits over the course of an encounter at level 9, you negated 30 damage that you don't have to have healed by a cleric or anything down the line. Not to mention all of the damage you are stopping, all of those hits that are turning into misses or crits that are turning into normal hits, or successful saving throws being turned into crit successes to avoid it entirely. This is amazing. The AC is great, don't get me wrong, the AC is fantastic. Attack rolls are the most common form of damage in the game, but if someone flings a fireball at your party, you just having Rallying Anthem up, giving everybody +1 to that saving throw is crazy. I'm in a level 16 Pathfinder campaign right now. It's a Kingmaker, and even at that level, as a character with a very low reflex save, you know, +1 to that is insane. +1, sure, I have like a +25 to my reflex, but that +1 is still massive because the DCs you have to beat are huge. It is literally useful the entire campaign. I'm already regretting it putting it at number 5, but guess what? I've already recorded this, and I'm too lazy to re-record it at a different position. So Rallying Anthem gets 5th place. God, that should have been 2nd place. You know what? No, it's my video. Who says I have to do these in order? Rallying Anthem is 2nd place. I'm bumping it up 3 tiers. Rallying Anthem is 2nd place. So we're going into my new 5th place feat, Earworm. If you weren't ready for this kind of chaos in a top 5 list, I'm afraid you're on the wrong channel, homeboy. Homegirl? Home them. My 5th place feat, just because it comes online a little bit too late, but I really love what it does, is Earworm. It's a very simple feat, even though it's got 2 or 3 paragraphs of explanation. Basically, you spend 10 minutes rehearsing and playing a composition cantrip for your party, and then at any time during the next day, as a free action, you can just automatically apply its effects as though you had just cast it. This effectively gives you a bonus free action composition once per combat, and the cool thing about the Bard is it doesn't have to be on turn 1. It might be because you might want to position yourself and cast this and cast a spell, but on a spellcaster, 1 extra action on a turn is insane. Spellcasters often find themselves stuck, unable to position themselves properly because they lack an action, especially a bard who's trying to 1-action composition, 2-action spell, and 1-action move. Well, if you've got Earworm, all of a sudden that composition, that's a free action. You can position perfectly, composition spell, and throw out, I don't know, any occult spells. Now, there is a caveat to this, and that's that it can be failed. There's another thing holding it low on the list. When you do activate Earworm, you need to make a performance check against the highest will DC of your party members, meaning if you've got somebody with legendary will, that literally makes your ability worse, and I think that's terrible design. Honestly, even making this cost a performance check at all is kind of ridiculous for me. You're spending 10 minutes of downtime to prepare the Earworm. Maybe it would have been overpowered because then you would have gotten a free action every single combat, but I don't know, it's a level 14 feat. Do you really need to make a massive performance check? And the fact that just because your cleric has insane will DC, you fail by 1, it doesn't affect anybody? It doesn't affect the fighter with their poo-poo will saves? Come on, Paizo. 5th place, really, really cool feat. No clue why I put this ahead of Rallying Anthem in the first place, but we don't ask questions that we don't want the answers to. Coming in at 4th place for my favorite bard feat is In Tune, a really cool option for a bard who doesn't want to be too close to the action, but still wants to buff their melee characters. It's a 1-action spell shape, so it affects your next action, which is its own kind of can of worms, because if you 1-action In Tune and then 1-action like Rallying Anthem or Courageous Anthem, you're only left with 1 action left, and that can be really difficult to work with, but I just like what they're going for with this design. For 1 action, if your next action is to cast a composition spell, then you can have it originate from an ally within 60 feet instead of yourself. By default, all composition spells are in an emanation around the bard, but this means you can be 60 feet away from your fighter and have the buff come off of your fighter, which goes in all directions around them, usually in either 30 or 60 feet, which means you could still be hitting yourself with your buff anyway. Where this is crazy is when it's combined with certain other composition spells that may or may not be on this top 5 list. I mean, Rallying Anthem right away is fantastic. You can just use that from the backline to give everybody +1 AC and saving throws. That's huge, and you're still 60 feet away from combat. But let me tell you, there's another option, and that option is really, really strong, and it's number 1 on this list. If you know bards at all, you know what it is. So let's hurry up and get to 3rd place, shall we? I'm going to be honest with you. Number 3 is not crazy powerful. You don't get it at a low level, and in fact, it doesn't meet most of the criteria for what gets a feat on this list, but it does hit 1 criteria. It does 1 thing right that gets it 3rd place on my top 5 feat list. It's flavorful as hell. In 3rd place for my top 5 bard feats is All in My Head. This reaction is so dumb. If you would ever take a hit that would drop you to 0 hit points, then as a reaction, you, the bard, can trick yourself into thinking, oh, this isn't lethal damage, it's just gonna knock me unconscious. Shiss. So basically, yeah, you just don't go dying, you just go unconscious. You auto-stabilize yourself when you take a lethal hit. The damage becomes mental, it gains the non-lethal trait, and you're just unconscious. Does that mean do you gain the wounded condition? Hold on. I can't look it up. My internet's still out from the last video. No, it doesn't wound you. I have the book. I can read the book to find the answer to my questions. It doesn't wound you. You only become wounded if you lose the dying condition. Because All in My Head makes it non-lethal, you do not gain the dying condition. You just become unconscious. Someone can heal you, you're back in the fight, and you can do this as long as you have a reaction. I didn't even think about this fact. This makes your bard technically unkillable unless you get hit multiple times, you're affected by some damage over time like bleed or persistent fire damage. That's even better. I'm even happier I put it here. It's not the best feat in the world. You know, it doesn't actively help your party win. It's just hilarious that you can get stabbed in the gut and go, oh, I'm making this up. I'm fine. It also doesn't work on death effects. You can't take a disintegrate to the face and say, nah, it's not real, because by that point you're already ashes. Really fun feat. I picked it purely for the flavor. It's always been one of my favorite bard feats ever since I first read it, and it's gonna stay there. Third place, and second place is Rallying Anthem. Woohoo, I love that feat. It's so good. Its number go uppy, and we make the brain happy. First place on my list of top 5 bard feats is Dirge of Doom. Next question. Do I need to explain it? Does it... It's right there. Like, read that. No, I'm not reading it for you. Read that. Are you reading? I hope so. Am I on your second monitor and you're playing Baldur's Gate 3? Pause that. Read this. It's stupid. For one action, this composition cantrip. It's not even a focus point. It's a cantrip. 30 feet in all directions from the bard. All enemies within that aura are frightened 1 and cannot go lower while they're in the aura. No saving throw. Nothing. This is a permanent -1 to everything. Attack rolls, saving throws, armor class, skill checks. Everything goes down by 1 as long as they are within 30 feet of the bard. This is disgusting. This is the best spell in the game. I'm going to say it. This is the best spell in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. No saving throw frightened is absolutely disgusting. And I hate to say it, it feels like a must-take on bards. Combine this with In Tune, you don't even need to be nearby. That removes the one weakness of this, which is it's only a 30-foot range. You need to be within, 1 or 2 stride actions of the enemies to make use of it. Oh, you have In Tune? Cool. In Tune, Dirge of Doom on the Barbarian 30 feet away. Cool. Now everybody is just permanently frightened when they're near the Barbarian. The guy who really wants to lower their armor class and kill them. It's insane. Phenomenal. Just the video's over. You can leave. I'm just here freaking out because every time I read this spell, every time I read Dirge of Doom, I forget how bullshit it is. Anyway, shout out to the members of the No Net One's Patreon. If you want to get on that list, there's a link in the description. You can support me just like they do. Thank you so much. Just please pick up Dirge of Doom. It's not fair. It's not fair.